Hello, everyone. We warmly welcome you all to our special program brought to you by Indian Achievers Forum. I'm your host, Vatika Singh. Indian Achievers Award is an honor that celebrates the people who went extraordinary to effectuate their aspirations and ideas. In this series, we emphasize not only on the struggles and achievements of the people, but also on the social contributions they made to their native land, India. Before introducing you all to our one such achiever, let's take a look at the small AV.
Indian Achievers Forum is driven by a full-fledged advisory board. The board consists of experienced personalities who have excelled in their respective careers. Together, the forum organizes conferences, events, workshops, exhibitions, trade shows, and B2B initiatives in India as well as abroad. Where there is passion, there is achievement. And where there is achievement, there is Indian Achievers Forum.
Mr. Nishant Shah has worked internationally with some of the biggest global banks for 2 decades and managed multiple portfolios across the risk, derivatives, and NBFC space, finally, as head of operating risk for JP Morgan Chase India. A chartered accountant by education, he is a self professed technologist, economist, and futurist with an impressive list of industry leading credentials and has founded Jackstein Practices. He is also the winner of Indian Achievers Award for Most Promising Startup 2021-22. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, Vatika. Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Right. So, we know for a fact that starting anything has never been easy for any one of us. So, what all were the challenging predicaments that you had to go through initially when you started this?
To be honest, it was more the challenges that other businesses face that has inspired us to start Jackstein Practices in the first place. Remote and hybrid work are one of the most complex challenges organizations face as they grapple with processes and mindsets tuned over centuries. But at the same time, it is one of the most rewarding opportunities as well. So companies cannot just ignore it. However, companies find that it's not as easy as simply allowing some of the staff to work remotely some of the time based on whatever works. They need to prioritize organizational interest first, but there isn't the available expertise on how to do that, especially against the backdrop of remote work. There's a lot of focus on the benefits of remote work, and most of it focuses on employees, which is certainly true and certainly critical. However, there is almost no expertise on or technology on how organizations can leverage the power of remote and hybrid work to the mutual benefit of employees and employers. Remote and hybrid work, for all its massive benefits, requires highly specific expertise to deliberately carry out structured changes to processes, technologies, security, connectivity, taxation, automation, training, resourcing, culture, team management, and employment law compliances. In a sense, it's a whole new field of study that affects every established aspect of work, plus brings in a ton of completely new aspects. There are several consultants that look at some aspects from a specialized lens. What was sorely missing was the expertise to look at this one aspect from all lenses. That was the challenge we rose to, and today we are proud to say we are the foremost experts in this field in the world.
That's really commendable, sir. So, moving ahead, tell us a more detailed thing about the product and services with which you cater to your people.
So at Jackstein Practices, our umbrella suite is called Remotion. Under Remotion, we have several focused and dedicated consulting suites for different types of needs. Four specific consulting stacks deal with the design, technical, technological, and operating risk elements of remote work, and one stack deals with the people, training, and adaptation elements of remote work. Our consulting stacks consist of different sets of professionals that report to one central lead director who designs the transition to remote or hybrid work in an end-to-end manner. Mainly, this is because we've seen that the departmental structure of organizations, otherwise a proven structure, does not work well for such special transitions. Most departments work in silos by design. That's how they're meant to. Changes suggested by one department, unfortunately, often prove detrimental to other departments in special transitions like this. So instead of bringing meaningful change overall, sometimes they just tend to land up shifting the problem from one place to the other. At Jackstein Practices, we work on providing 360 implementation advice that ties together all the important elements of an organization, from asset reallocations, cost structures, policies, risk structures, technology, as well as statutory, financial, legal, privacy, data security, people, organizational, and behavioral aspects. That's basically what we do here at Jackstein Practices, and our primary product in the consulting space is what, as I said, what we call Remotion, with substacks inside that look and focus specific areas for organizations.
Right, sir. So, moving ahead, we all have certain plans for our future. So, what are your future plans with respect to Jackstein practices?
So, as the future of work expands and becomes a reality, we want to be prepared to lead it by carefully expanding our team, since our focus is highly specialized and requires intensive training and expertise. We've also partnered to design and deliver our domain expertise in a sustainable manner through several technological products with a leading tech firm. To enable and support our expansion plans, we have ourselves recently fully transitioned to a remote environment from a hybrid model that we had adopted earlier, that allows us to attract the best talent from across the country to feed into our future plans.
Right. So, you must be knowing about the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign prevailing in India right now. So, what are your views on this campaign, and how is your organization working towards it?
That's a great question. Digital India is hailed as the instrument of Atmanirbhar Bharat. It adds to a lot of benefits and controls, but a real societal improvement comes from its enablement of remote work. Remote work furthers the benefits of Digital India vision by granting economic and geographical independence to people. Additionally, remote work adds a significantly huge momentum to the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister by bridging the skills gap. While it is certainly beneficial for organizations to have access to a wider talent pool, it is ultimately fitting for the nation as a whole. This is even more true for a country like India, which has such a diverse set of cultures and a vast geography. As more and more companies announce a remote first way of working, we can be prepared to see more and more companies and people finding jobs suiting their requirements, talents, skills, needs, and circumstances. This is what will eventually help realize the massive benefits of Atmanirbhar Bharat mission in a meaningful manner.
Right, sir. So, first of all, congratulations on winning the Indian Achievers Award. I really want to know that what was the feeling when you came to know that you have won the award, and who all were the constant supporters in this journey of yours?
Uh, I mean, in terms of our feelings, we are humbled and grateful. This has been a great push to our motivation and encourages us to pursue our goals with greater enthusiasm. But in terms of who's really responsible for receiving this award and who deserves this award, it wouldn't have been possible without the love and support of our wonderful team to start with, nor without the belief, confidence, and trust of our clients. So really, we've received the award, but this is to their credit entirely. And thank you to the Indian Achievers Forum for recognizing our contributions.
Right, sir. So, now since we know a lot about your professional role, tell us something about your social contributions also.
Certainly. So all of us are involved in some personal cause in our individual capacity, from homeless women to child literacy, depending on where the focus lies or where people's preferences lie. But for us as a company, I think the massive social benefits come out of remote and hybrid work are the societal and the environmental impact. So remote work is a great leveler that democratizes work and talent and provides equality of opportunity. People from all geographies and walks of life, including those with mobility issues, speech issues, care responsibilities, etc., can now work for the best organizations who themselves are seeking talent in the midst of the massive attrition at play in the Great Resignation. Moving on from societal to environmental benefits, the reduction in lacks of man hours of commute, fossil fuels, fixed assets, air conditioning, hardware, chemicals, power, etc., leads to massive improvements in the carbon footprint. In fact, organizations are now doubly appreciating the impact of these benefits to the environment as well as to the bottom line, and leaning into remote work even further. We are helping clients establish these parameters and meet their environmental and CSR goals as well. To be honest, we are fortunate enough to be able to contribute to the greater good that benefits people, economies, and the environment all at once. I mean, not many businesses can say that today, and we feel fortunate and blessed to be one of the few who can.
Right, sir. So, before concluding this session, you know that IF is followed not only by mainstream organizations, but also those young minds who aspire to be like our achievers someday. So, what is that one message you'd like to give them?
Sure. I'll just keep it crisp to my 2 cents. Right now, I see people operating at two opposite ends of a spectrum. On one end, I see people giving in to the hustle culture and a do it at all cost mentality. At the other end, I see strong anti work tendencies that tend to focus on disparity and nothing else. The first makes you burn out, the second prevents you from having a growth oriented mindset because there's no point looking at the world with a victim mindset. Balance, discipline, and the power of micro habits are critical for healthy accomplishment. If we can recognize that we need to work to the top without losing sight of the importance of physical and mental well-being, I think much of the game is won. That would be my most focused piece of advice to the younger generation.
Right, and that I must say, sir, is a great piece of advice. Thank you so much for joining with us today. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we hope that you continue to inspire people of all ages forever. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Take care.